Hey nerds, this is Pam coming to you from Stationery Nerd. Today we're going to talk about the Tekukor Dotted Notebook, and I've got both the A5 and the A6 size, and I have two of the A5, one that is completely full and one that is about halfway full. So we're going to take a look inside and tell you all about it. So after testing more than 30 journals, this is the notebook that I have decided to use for my bullet journal and is still my favorite journal. There's a couple coming in at a close second and some that I definitely want to try, but this one is still the one that I recommend to anybody who's looking for a new journal to try out. So let's first take a look at the specs before we get inside and take a look at the paper. So I have this spreadsheet available for you to download on the website, and there are 4 pages, goes over the full list of all 30 journals that I have reviewed, and you can grab that at stationarynerd.com/journals. And here we're going to look at the Tekukor. So I paid $12.95 for that, and that is a price that seems to be constant. A lot of journals will fluctuate their prices, and you never really know what you're going to be paying. So I'm really thankful that the price on this is always the same. So $12.95, and it is a true A5 size, so it's 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. And then there's also an A6 size, which is also a true A6. So that's a big bonus. There's hardcover, and there is only one color cover option. Everything comes in black. The bookmarks are all the same color, so you have 3 bookmarks. I'm going to show you in this one because all 3 of them are still here. So there is the red and the black and the white, and these are a satin ribbon bookmark. And I have found that I don't use these bookmarks. And in fact, in my current one, so you can see that I actually cut the bookmarks off right at the spine because I don't use them. They were in my way, so I got rid of them. So, but if you are a bookmark type of person, just know that there are 3 available in this journal and also 3 available in the A6. I don't know where the other one went to. It's probably in here somewhere. Oh no, there's only 2. So that is something to keep in mind. Only 2 in the smaller size. The other thing that I love about these journals is the elastic closure. So not only is it super strong and it's going to keep your book closed, look at how much wider that is than what you would get in a normal journal. In fact, let's compare to, I have the Leuchtturm 1917 here, and then I also have a Scribbles That Matter, and both of these have, this one is a little bit stronger and maybe a tiny bit wider than the Leuchtturm, but then look at it compared to the Tekukor. And you can see that this is much wider compared to these. So it's one of, like, I didn't realize it was going to be such a big deal, but it's something that I really love because I do actually put my elastic on my book when I have it closed. So alright, so let's look at the specs on the paper. So there are 192 pages, and it is 100 GSM, and this book only comes in dotted. So the manufacturer has figured out exactly what they want, and that's all they're offering. No lines, no blanks, just dotted and just black, black cover. So 192 pages. And the paper is, they call it ivory. And let's compare it, actually. Compare it to the other 2 books that we have here. So the Scribbles That Matter is here, and the Leuchtturm 1917 is here. So you can see that the color on these, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here for you. The color on those, these two are very much in the same color family, and they're very close to white. And then this one is much more cream colored for the Leuchtturm. The thing that I love about using the Tekukor is that when I need to use, if I make a mistake and I need to use whiteout, I can do that and it doesn't really show up on the page, which is super convenient. Alright, so the pen test is not in here. The pen test is in this old one, which is why we have it here, because this is where I did the original pen test. So we're going to just take a look at the pen test here, and we're going to take a look at these pens first. We have the Sharpie liquid highlighter that I have tested in all of the books, and then we have a variety of black pens. We have, oops, this one wasn't tested. We have fine liners, we have gel pens, we have Sharpie, we have the Micron, we have a fountain pen, and then this crazy pen here is a rollerball pen that always gives us trouble. So let's see how they fared. I will be listing all of those pens for you in the bottom description on this video. So you can see that we are doing pretty good. There's a tiny bit of feathering here with this fountain pen, but it's super tiny. But also remember, this Pilot Varsity fountain pen, this is a disposable pen, and the nib on it is really fat and it's really juicy compared to my other fountain pens that have regular nib and ink. So this is probably my TWSBI with just black ink, and that fountain pen is just fine. So, and the Bic here, no feathering at all. Highlighters did well. These are a couple that I tested out. Don't really know what the SIPA is, and then that must be a probably a mild liner. So let's take a look at the back. So the bright lights here show that there's a little bit of ghosting, but honestly this is very, very minimal. The only problems that we did have was with that Bic rollerball pen, which does want to bleed through a tiny little bit here. And it's not actually a pen that I use in any of my journals. I just was looking for one that was going to not pass any of the test. So for any pen that I use in here, everything's fine, which is really the stuff that's at the top of the list. So Sharpie, Papermate, Staedtler, the Pilot, even the Tool is pretty good. So this is one of the reasons why I love this pen, or this journal so much. And you can see I actually used it all the way to the very end, and finally moved into a new journal in the middle of February. So I've already done a flip through of this, so there's another video that if you want to take a look at this complete journal. And then let me just show you what I have done with this little A6. I am using it, actually I'm going to lay this down so it doesn't get all, I'm using it actually as a swatching book. Just kind of when I get a new set of pens, I like to see how it's how they're going to fall on the page, and then also see if they're going to bleed or show through on the other side. So these are actually kind of interesting. These were from the kids area at Walmart in the craft section, and I'm not sure if you can see, but they are super glittery and hardly any ghosting at all on that other side. So it's always fun to try new pens and just to see. So this was the Uniball Air 7mm super wet pen, and that one did have some ghosting and bleeding on this paper, but I hardly ever use a 7mm on anything. So the Pilot razor, all the green pens, all the green highlighters, And then we've got purple. So as you can see, I am using this just as a play book. Like, I'm going to just play around with stuff. I do know some people who are using this as their main bullet journal and are loving it. And actually, I really love this size now that I've moved into an A6 Traveler's Notebook. This is a really fun size to be in, and if you're thinking about switching to a different size, I highly recommend trying this out. The Tekukor A6 comes in a 2-pack for $14, so you can't beat that price. All right, so what else? I think that about covers it. By the way, this is Norman. He has become the Stationery Nerd mascot. I love that he's got little glittery spots. This is a vinyl decal that was made by Amy at Tyrian Design, and I will link her shop in the description below, because every time Norman makes an appearance, somebody is going to ask, where did you get that cute giraffe? So that's what we have. Anyway, are you using the Tekukor? How do you like it? And how many have you tried? Have you tried the A6 size or just the A5? I'm already on my second, and I was just thinking that maybe I need to buy another one because I'm already halfway through. Just finished a brain dump in here, and I've only got this many pages left before I'm out. So that's only like 75 pages. So, but of course, I'm not using this actually as my everyday bullet journal right now. It's just kind of my long-term collections. So since I moved over into the Traveler's Notebook, I have only been using this as, it just stays at home, and there's long-term stuff in here like, you know, my goals for the year and my book reading tracker, which if you haven't seen this, I do have a video about my book tracker, so you can see that. And then I also have like research about what kind of car I want, and some notes about a class that I was taking, and all kinds of good variety of stuff. So I do still use this pretty regularly, and I just leave it at home on my desk. So anyway, that's all I've got for now, and I'm going to let you go, but let me know in the comments if you have tried this book and how you like it. Until then, I will talk to you later. Bye.